Time for the match preview. It's Arsenal against Liverpool next up. This time in Philadelphia, we have left California. We played over there against both Bournemouth and Manchester United, but it's now time for Philadelphia and time to face Liverpool. How have Liverpool done so far in the preseason? I saw they lost to Preston, and then they've beaten Real Betis recently in the United States of America. I think it was 1-0. In terms of their players who are available for Liverpool, Salah has been playing, Szoboszlai has been playing. The likes of Diaz haven't returned yet. Jota has now joined up with the team. Van Dijk is not available. Alexander-Arnold is not available, just like our English players. Alisson is also not available. So they are missing a few players just like us, the Salibas and the Reyes and all that. So in terms of goalkeepers, both teams will have second, third choice goalkeepers on the pitch. They are missing a few players, so it's going to be a mixed squad, just like we played against Man United the other day. So for us, though, we have a few players returning, so we'll be discussing about the lineups very, very soon. But that game of the preseason, good performance against Man United. I rewatched that game a second and third time and realized, especially in the second half, there's a few moments in that game where Man United could not get a touch of the ball. We were really controlling the game. We were getting some passes, in and around them, and very comfortable in the ball. And we definitely deserved to win the game. They could easily have scored themselves. Yes, we had an offside goal and all that, but we did eventually win the game 2-1. And I think it was a good performance. I think it was a better performance than what we had against Bournemouth. Bournemouth being the first game of preseason for us. Bournemouth had already played, I think, a couple of games at that time, and we were still missing a few players. The other game, we had Martinelli back, Havertz back, Gabriel back. So good performance against Man United. But let's see how we do against Liverpool. This is now the third preseason game. Fourth one actually that you're playing. Leighton Orient is behind closed doors, but this is the fourth one now that you're officially playing. In terms of the USA tour, this is the third game. Now we are getting closer and closer to the season. This game is going to be played in August, so it's going to be early August, I think August 1st. So that is when you're going to play this particular game, and that means you're closer to the season, closer to the Premier League season. By the time we play this game, we are only going to have around 16 days until we play our first game against Wolves at home. So the Premier League is getting closer and closer. And then after this game, we'll be heading back to England to finish our preseason with against Leverkusen and Lyon. So Liverpool, one of our title rivals from last season. We went with them all the way almost until the end, until they dropped off, and then we went on with Man City. Things have changed with Liverpool. We don't have to face Klopp anymore. You're going to face Slot for the first time, their new manager. Interesting to see how they're going to line up with their tactics and how they're going to play against us. I don't know if they've absolutely settled in yet in terms of his tactics, but it's going to be a good test as always. It's going to be a mixed team for both teams, but I want to quite look forward to for sure. It would be great if we pick up another win, back-to-back wins against Man United and Liverpool or this preseason or not. That would be interesting. And I think, just for the record, Man United and Liverpool are playing against each other on the weekend as well. So let's see how that circle goes. If Man United and Liverpool play and then we've beaten both of them, and then depending on how the result goes, we're in a good position. So even with our youngsters, players like Nwaneri shining, one player that I really want to see once again, Ethan Nwaneri did very, very well. So before I come to the lineup, this is the lineup that started against Bournemouth last week. We had balanced squad, a few youngsters here and there. Salah started, Nwaneri started, Heaven started, Lewis Kelly started. And Karl Hein as well. So we basically had like 5 youngsters starting. We didn't really have a lot of the first team players starting, apart from Partey, Timber, and Ben White. And then over the weekend against Manchester United, we had more of a recognized team. Odegaard starting, Jorginho starting, Trossard starting. And then in terms of youngsters, we only had Nwaneri and Heaven starting. Jesus was back in the team. Zinchenko was back in the team. So I expect this to be more of the first team players than the youngsters. And this would be my lineup for this Liverpool game. In goal, I would stick with Karl Hein. I would like to see Setford maybe coming on in the second half, just to have a glimpse of him, because by the time he played the Emirates Cup, Ramsdale and Raya will be back. So we're not going to see him then. So this is pretty much the last time we could see Setford. I think you're also going to go to another penalty shootout in this game, whichever the results. I think it's something that you're going to be doing every single preseason just for practice. I'd like to see how good Setford is in that scenario as well, because we don't really have to win the shootout or anything, especially after you win the game. But Karl Hein starts for me in goal. Now, the back four, I am going to make a few changes, as I've said. Against Bournemouth, Lewis Kelly haven't started. Against Man United, Zinchenko's back, he started, haven't started again. But this time round, I'm going to go for, a more a more balanced team, or more fast team. By the way, Calafiori could be making his debut in this one, but I'm not going to start him. So Zinchenko, Gabriel, Timber, and Ben White for me start at the back. The four of them. That is more of a fast team. Obviously, Tomiyasu could be there. Timber, not Timber. Saliba could be there. Calafiori could. But I will start with this one, and then the second half I make some changes. Timber starts again at centre back. Atisa did have something to say about him. He did say that that is not really where they want Timber to play, but just because Salib and those players are not there, he's having to play there. So I think next one you're going to see Timber more of a full back, left back, and right back. But that would be my difference. And then in the second half I'd make changes. Gabriel first started after his holiday. Ben White and Timber have started both games, so I'd be taking them off earlier. And then midfield, I'd bring back Partey. Jorginho started the second game. I think Partey starts this one for me. And then Odegaard as the number 10 for sure. Had kind of a knock on his arm, almost broke his arm when he fell down, almost dislocated his shoulder and stuff when he played against Man United. And then Nwaneri. Yes, I'll start Nwaneri again. I was thinking, should I play Vieira here in the number 8 position? Because I have said that I want to see Vieira as a number 10, as a winger, and as a number 8 during this preseason. But I really want to see Nwaneri again. I really want to see Nwaneri in that position. And there's not really any other players who can play in the number 8 position apart from Vieira and Nwaneri for now. Salah Olod I would bring him on in the second half. But that would be my lineup in terms of the midfield. And then Vieira does start for me, yes, but on the right side. He didn't start against Man United, but I will start him on the right side. I want to see more of him again. And then Trossard on the left side. And then Kai Havertz up front. So we have Gabriel and Havertz back as starters in this one, and then Trossard once again on the left side. So that would be my lineup. Now I'll tell you why I've not started Martinelli, and Calafiori can start, yes, but you more likely be coming off the bench. I'd be very happy to see him starting just to see how he does right from the beginning of the game with Gabriel and Timber, those guys. But in the second half, there's 2 particular changes I would make at the same time. I'll take off Zinchenko and bring in Calafiori, and then I'd take off Trossard and bring in Martinelli, just to see how Calafiori would work with Martinelli. A lot of people have argued that, Martinelli has not been playing well last season. He didn't play well last season because he didn't really have anyone, behind him. Xhaka was missing. Rice was playing as a number 6 early in the season. We were playing Havertz in the number 8, sometimes playing Vieira in the number 8. Back in terms of the left back, it was Kvyat sometimes, it was Tomiyasu sometimes, it was Zinchenko sometimes, like Timber in the first game. He didn't really have a stable partner, like in terms of consistent partnership. On the right side is different. We know it's Odegaard, Ben White, and Saka every game, but on the left side, there's a lot of disruptions. So I would bring in Calafiori and Martinelli to see how they do. But how would it go at lineup? I'd not be surprised if Martinelli starts, since Trossard started the last game. We might not see Calafiori and Martinelli, but that is my reasoning for bringing Calafiori and Martinelli together in the second half. And then the rest of the bench, Nigard, Setford, Kvyat, Jorginho, Jesus, Martinelli, Nketiah, Nelson, Salah, Lewis, Sago Jr., Heaven, and Nichols. Now, I don't know if you're definitely going to see Nketiah, Nelson, and how near they are in terms of making moves to the teams that want them. If you've gotten any substantial offers, just like Smith Rowe, because it's about to move on, we're not going to play him to avoid injuries. But with Nelson and Nketiah, nothing's advanced yet. But if something advances between now and Wednesday, then maybe we might not see any of them on the bench. But I'd like to see Calafiori coming on, Martinelli coming on, Jesus as well. And I also want to see more of So I'd want to see Setford coming on. I want to see a glimpse of him. Calafiori for sure together with Martinelli, and then Jesus as well, and then Salah Olod to come on for Nwaneri in the second half. We are going to make all 10, 11 changes in the second half for sure. We are going to see, Jorginho coming on. We are going to see Kvyat coming on. But I also wanted to, keep Gabriel on for like 70 minutes to see how it does with Calafiori on that side. Doesn't have to. We could still see that against Leverkusen and Lyon, but that is my reasoning and that is my lineup. So I predicted, I think 3-1 for Bournemouth and Arsenal. It ended up being 1-1. I predicted 2-1 for Arsenal, Man United. It ended up being 2-1. So for this one, I don't know how balanced the squads are going to be for both teams. If Liverpool are going to go strong in the first half and then youngsters in the second half, or they're going to balance with, Salah playing in the first half and then the likes of Jota in the second half. I don't know how they're going to do it and how we are going to do it, which team Ateta is going to go for. If I was to predict, I think Ateta is going to start Martinelli. maybe Havertz doesn't start, maybe Jesus starts again, and then Havertz comes on. Maybe Nwaneri doesn't start, maybe he goes with the full fast team kind of players. So maybe he plays Vieira as a number 8, or Trossard there, or maybe even starts Jorginho and Partey together. Who knows? But my prediction for the game, I'm going to go the same scoreline as Man United. I'm going to go for Arsenal 2, Liverpool 1. I think they'll score as we make the changes. But with that team, with Gabriel and Timber, maybe they don't get a goal during that time. But when you start switching the team around, maybe they get a goal and then we win 2-1. So I'd say maybe we take the lead and then they equalize and then we score again the second half. But 2-1 for Arsenal. So players I'm looking forward to seeing in this game, Calafiori 100%, expecting him to make his debut. There's no reason for him really to travel to the USA unless he's going to play this game and feature in a couple of training sessions. So really looking forward to see Calafiori, and obviously looking forward to seeing Martinelli starting again and Nwaneri once again. So that is my prediction. That's the lineup. Let me know what lineup you'd go for, and who are you looking forward to seeing most apart from Calafiori? Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.